then there are few visuals which are again of the catastrophic events globally, which are recently, I think, some of the biggest, the flooding in the Pakistan, you know that, and some of the, you know, in the Somalia and Ethiopia, you know that, in Africa, basically there are a lot of drought and such kind of news is, you know, very common nowadays. Not only the globally, but India also, we used to hear a lot about these consequences. Then this is the slide where I'm trying to show you that humanity is currently using natural resources at 1.8 times faster than our planet's capacity to regenerate them back. So last year, if you see 2022, the overshoot day was observed on 28th of July, and in 2023, it is expected in the 27th July 2023. So now imagine we have already reached the tipping points, and you know there is no going back. So we must follow this green and environmental conscious approach. That's the message here. So now just coming to my topic, because if you see the global urbanization scenario, I think few of the slides of Mr. Hemant has already given you insight that why in the urban context, the kind of resources we are using, making those, you know, construction happening, like using energy, water, steel, cement, so many materials, everything we are taking from our Mother Earth. Because finally the source is Mother Earth. There is no planet B. Here in this particular slide, I am just trying to show you the kind of the growth, and specifically in India, because we are the developing countries. However, globally there are a lot of developed countries also. But if you see the mega cities formation, you know, happening all over the world, you can see that in 2000 there were 371 cities with 1 million inhabitants, or more worldwide I'm talking about. And by 2018, the number of cities with at least 1 million inhabitants had grown to 548. And in 2030, it is projected to be 706 cities will have at least 1 million residents. So this is a UN 2018 World Cities Report source. So you can see the level of the growth, the level of the new formation of megacities which is happening, and 55% of the population, you know, of the entire world that stays in the urban area now. Because you see Mumbai, because everybody is shifting from small tier to tier 1 cities, and we all settle here, so again we are increasing the population. So that's another case. And even not only in this, even the surrounding areas also, then you know, small towns, they are also converting into cities. Similarly, if you see that most of the megacities, as I said, if you see the worldwide, they are located in the global south. And if you see the out of these 33 megacities, cities with 10 million, with this kind of population, these are basically in the 27 are located in the less developed regions in the global south, and China alone has 6 megacities, while India had 5. And 9 of the other 10 cities projected to become megacities by, you can see, between 2018 and 30, which is already in the developing countries. So if you see that as per UN report, 55% of the world's population is just in the urban sectors and expected to rise by 68% by 2050. So now imagine the kind of population boom, the kind of exploitation of resources, and the pace of our lifestyle changes, you know, where we are going. So this is what, you know, it is reminding us to go back. It is reminding us to use the resources efficiently, because we are already reaching tipping points. We need 2 more Mother Earths to just help us to survive us and to be, you know, fulfill our needs and needs. This is the point. So if you see that 60% of the building stock expected in India by 2050, it is yet to build. Because in the developed countries, it is already there. But in India, we have to really think very sensibly responsible development. Because we have to build yet. We know that a lot of FDIs are coming, a lot of foreign investment is coming here to develop infrastructure, to develop new buildings, specifically city like Mumbai. You know that 70-80% are slum redevelopment projects here. And you know that all the SRA schemes, we talk about how we are going to do the transformation from slum to, again building projects, new projects. I don't know how many of you know that when we develop any slum project, so basically we divide that 25 slum into two parts. So one is the sale part and other is the rehab part. And when we divide this floor space index by the government policies, we divide into two parts. So 50% component is given to the those slum people. So we call it like tenants of those buildings, and 50% is being sold out in the open market. Now imagine in a notified slum, when you have a minimum 500 tenements which are already there in that urban sprawl. So when you make a sale building there, so imagine how many people are going to accommodate there, how many buildings are coming there, how much resources you are going to utilize. It is double, triple, 10 times, 20 times. Because your all infrastructure, your green spaces, your building spaces, everything has to be there. So this is what it's a very big, I would say, we are talking about sustainable development, but these are very sensitive issues. Very sensitive issues. So I think this has been already spoken by my colleague Hemanji about negative impacts. I will give you the positive insights also later, because I am going to present a very beautiful case study. But we should know the fact also. Why we are talking about green building nowadays? Why not just buildings? Why we have added green? That's the point here. Because initially, we were just talking about water pollution, air pollution. We were talking about waste management. Only these issues were very related to environmental aspects. But in today's world, we realize that there's a lot of carbon emissions, there's a lot of energy consumption by the building sector itself. If you see the UN report, you would be surprised that 38% of the total greenhouse gas emission is in the building and construction sector. And building sector also responsible for 39% of the total energy consumption. So the point here is, when we know the resources, we are exploiting resources, definitely when you use energy, so there is a carbon emissions. And carbon is not related to energy, it's not related to electricity. It's related to your fuel consumption, your fossil consumption patterns. So carbon has many senses, scope 1, scope 2, scope 3, like that. And also the water. Generally, I would like to tell you the fact here, as per the new studies in Delhi city, the 50% of the electrical consumption, where it is being consumed? Just pumping the water. So imagine, the water is so important to us. Because water is also such a precious source, because you can't drink just saline water, you can't drink just sea water. We generally feel, especially the people who are living in the coastal areas, that we have a huge sea on the Mother Earth. But let me tell you friends, you can't drink the water. You need a potable water. You need a potable water supply. And from where it comes when your glacier melts, it comes from the natural resources, groundwater resources, some lakes, some rivers. But what we have done with them, we know that. How we are, discharging our effluents, everything in the water bodies. Even in the Mumbai, right now, if you see the centralized STP plants in Bombay, we are capable to do only primary and secondary treatment. We don't do tertiary. So that is also the kind of, we have to make our systems more enabled, much better. We have to improve it so that we can go up to that level, so that that water can be reutilized for other potable water supply sources. And I also would like to tell you here, like in Singapore, when you recycle the water, they call it new water. You go to any hotel, they will not give you these plastic bottles for drink. You can take the water from the bathroom, from the toilet. Every tap has a fresh form of water because it is a recycled water. They call it new water. But in India, because we have a perception that it what is the need and how we can fulfill that and how we can handle that efficiently. Now I'm coming to very, very important aspect. I think yesterday some of you were here. So I was talking about heat island effect. How many of you know about this thing? Urban heat island impact. If you go to RA colony, you will find that there will be 2-3 degree temperature difference, right? Why you feel cool there? Because there is no concrete structure there. But when you come to the cities like Andheri, suburbans, all those areas, so you will feel that temperature difference. So why that temperature? Then is because of the microclimatic variations in the temperature. And how it happens? Because concrete absorbs that heat from the sun. And it also has the tendency to spread the heat. This is what urban heat island effect works. The way we design our cities, the way we look into because the concrete is such a component, it is being used in the worldwide. After water, it is on the second number. So you imagine the way the natural resources and the concrete we need for the development. So how we are talking in today's world the green concrete. That is another way of looking into the technology. Because I'm not going to cover that today. You can Google that, but there is another way of thinking, new innovative ideas on the green concrete. Because concrete is not going to help alone. You can see a lot of the red marked area. I don't have sensor here, but if you see this red marked area worldwide, these are the urban centers of heat. And you know that from the last 1 year, you would have realized that a lot of heat waves, even your Delhi, Bombay, the temperature is increasing. This is because of this urban heat island effect. Another fact is not only the loss of green cover, because you don't have the biodiversity, because you don't have the green cover. When you lose the green cover, what happens? Again, microclimatic temperature variations. This is again causing that heat island effect. So idea here is, what is the solution? You have to reduce that heat island effect. How? You have to build more and more urban forest, which you show in the, I think my colleague has shown you in that presentation. So these are some of the glimpses. If you see the heat island in the Sydney, Mumbai, Paris, Delhi, I think I can show you hundreds of that. You will see those red patches. You can see the NASA's website. You can see there are a lot of websites available where you can get this information. You can see all these heat waves. This is a very important slide. I think each of you who are sitting here should know that. This is about when we say that energy efficiency is no brainer, because when you extract the coal, I'll tell you, you divide the energy into two parts. One is the dirty energy, other is the green energy. Renewable source of energy, non-renewable source of energy. And what is a renewable source of energy? Which is like your solar energy, wind energy, right? Bioenergy. Those are the sources of green energy. But when you use the coal-based energy, just this, which we are utilizing here now, this is, I call it dirty energy. Because we are using coal. And the Earth's reservoirs, if you see right now, the capacity of Mother Earth, that has been already depleted. You don't have sufficient coal also. This is what the reason is in today's world why we are talking about the worldwide in COP26, in COP27, why we are saying that now we need to switch off from the coal plants to just green energy. So we have to produce the energy which is again coming from the cleaner fuels. This is what the need of the hour, and the worldwide, all intellectuals, all worldwide, governments and a lot of organizations, they are working on this particular aspect. Now here, the important point is, if you see that when you use the primary fuel as a coal, it is equivalent to 100 units of energy. So when it comes to the power plant of 33% efficiency, then there are some transformation losses. Then finally what you get at the end, that is only 24 units. You understand? So that means if I say 1 unit of those basic techniques are inspiration from our ancestors, from our Indian heritage. It's already available. That wisdom is already available. So that is the first aspect of energy conservation through design itself. Like I'm sitting here, if I open these windows, make it little operable, I don't need centralized AC here, isn't it? Even if I remove these dark glasses, I will get the sunlight here. I don't need even too much of lighting. This is what the green is about. This is the concept, the core concept. So that means through design interventions, when we do, that's a conservation and efficiency. And how efficiency comes? When we are using energy efficient equipments. Like you use 3-star ACs, you use the motor and pumps which consume less energy. We use the products which are less energy, prone to less energy consumption. And you must have heard nowadays that B-star rated products are available in the market. Even you buy a refrigerant, you want a LED light, you want anything that is already B-star rated. You can choose the best one. You have the options. Then the last is the renewable energy, which is a green energy. So first, you reduce the energy through design itself, bring more daylight into, bring more ventilation aspect into, reduce the demand of energy. Then second, procurement of energy efficient equipment. And third is whatever the balance demand is, take it from the green energy. So what will happen? You will achieve that net zero concept. If you are able to achieve this third one, fully demand on the green energy, that means you are net zero. Net zero is not a rocket science. This is net zero. And I think this will be too technical, but I'll just tell you this is a embodied energy. Because we talk about the energy which we are tapping from the grid. But we never talk about the embodied energy in a common stream, like not everybody, like unless you have not done any technical course or something. This is the energy, like suppose I'm using a mobile. It is using energy at each and every step of its manufacturing. Because when you are extracting the raw material for making that product, bringing into the factory where it is being manufactured, again you are putting energy, you are using water to manufacture that, you are again using the resources, even you are also responsible for the waste generation. Then again you are bringing into the, for the transportation issues, then coming to the end user. So there is a lot of energy which is called as the embodied energy added to it. So it is not something the energy consumption what you are using at the last, but it starts from the extraction level. This is what the I'm wearing this shirt. This shirt it also has embodied energy. Got the concept of embodied energy? Now, this is the integrated design approach. So I think yesterday we spoke about the importance of and skill education for the sustainability consultants. So let me tell you how the sustainability works. When all the experts, all the people who are responsible, who are the construction stakeholders, including your decision maker, your architect and designers, your building engineering services, electrical, plumbing, whatever systems you need in a project development, when everybody works together, then only the sustainability is possible. So, if you see, there are some now global perspective and some few examples I'm going to show you what's happening, worldwide. If you see, this is the Copenhagen Hill Power Plant where they are converting their entire city's waste into energy. So imagine that some cities are already started, doing this smart city good work. So they are again, they are just segregating their entire waste and converting it into green energy. These are the best examples to learn and to achieve a 70% reduction in the GHG emission. Hope you know GHG emission, right? You know that greenhouse gas emission, okay? Because it is directly related to your energy, and it is also related to the chlorofluorocarbons, which comes out from the refrigerants from the air conditioning system. And this is again a very innovative technology with the Helsinki hot pot. So this is, they are just making it, but this is something very unique. You can Google it. So this is basically here. This is the energy generated from combination of wind, solar, biomass, and hydro. They are using to heating the sea water, and then when the sea water will get it heated up, so basically it will act as a giant thermal battery, and that will be transferred to the city's heating distribution service. Because you know it's a very cold place, so they need, their demand of heating is a lot. So all this is possible without any carbon emissions at the cost about 10% lower than the current heating method. Let me tell you, if you compare two technologies or two methods, you cannot say that this technology will give you zero emissions, but it gives you less emissions as compared to the other one. So you can always opt for the best one, which gives you less emissions. It's always a matter of selection, how intelligently you choose the technology. So now let's talk about India. So current challenges in India, we know that pollution. I think all of you know the plastic pollution is the biggest issue. Why? Because we mismanage it. The reason we mismanage it, because we don't segregate it. That's the problem. We just throw it at our household level. Our municipal trucks comes and they just put it in the truck and they take it to the landfill site. That's the problem. And the water scarcity, urban sprawl, I have already talked about. Then our dependence on the fossil fuels and the waste mismanagement. These are the Indian challenges. Now let's come to the positive side. We talked about challenges. So these are the, this is not a political post or something. This is something just giving you the message of our country's leader, which was given in the COP26. What are our objectives and targets for our country? Being a developing country, let me tell you, we feel that developing countries has less carbon emissions per capita. But practically, let me tell you, if you see, because we are the developing country, but our cumulative emissions are very high. Because we are a developing country. So don't be so happy that per capita we are very less than US, I agree. But if you see the cumulative emissions, being a developing country, it is still, we are moving very aggressively because we have to develop a lot of infrastructure, a lot of resource consumption is going to happen. So our target, if you see, achieving net zero by 2070, then reducing total projected carbon emissions by 1 billion tons. 1 billion tons means, if you see on the right hand side, India's current cumulative CO2 emission is 2.88 gigaton as per the Center of Science and Environment Institute. Now imagine what it will be by 2030, it will be 4.48. So when we are focusing on the target of reduction of 1 billion, we would be only able to reach 3.88. Still we are going to increase it. We can't stop it because we are building, we are improving in infrastructure, a lot of things are happening. So that is also something, you know, which is scary. So India will cut its carbon emissions by 1 billion ton. Therefore, our emissions by 30 will be 3.48. So these are the things, you know, which keeps you a little, I would say, alarming. So this is the reason we need to build green buildings, because these are the facts. So these are some of the another things, like where National Clean Hydrogen Mission is there in India. We have a cooling action plan, and we have now business responsibility reporting framework for the corporates. I think I was talking with you about that. And section 6 in that, purely on the environment, which talks your carbon emission, energy, water, everything. And India is also talking about ESG now, because all the corporates and financial obligations, ESG reporting is also not mandate, but from the investor's perspective, ESG is the most hot job of the corporates. Every importance of climate change, importance of green building and carbon credits, which is happening in India. And this is the certification programs in India. So I will not talk too much because very much related to architects and engineers. So in the center you can see that today we are representing here IGBC, Indian Green Building Council, CII, which is a more than 125 years old organization and promoting green building movement in the country. So before I give you just few insight about the green building, see these are some of the glimpses of our historical building in our country, which are by default green. So you don't need to make it green. You have in India, I hope you know, these are the green buildings. And this is, you see the Jal Mahal in Rajasthan. I'll tell you why this is green building. You should know that also. If you see, this is the Kailash temple in Maharashtra. Have you heard about that? These are the kind of, beyond imagination. These are the things we have. Made with the natural stone, natural rock, no material is imported in. Then Havelis in Rajasthan. So we were already making green buildings in India. All our Havelis, because if you see the window design was as per the climatologies, the materials, the use of local materials, natural light, natural ventilation, veranda culture, bringing diffuse light inside, all these integral part of our, the part of our culture. So now I'm coming to my case study. I'll finish it in 2-3 minutes because time is running. So this is one of my case study, which is Viveda Wellness Retreat Center. This project is in Nashik, Maharashtra, just near to Educationists temple. How many of you have been to Nashik? So you can see this is the project, this is the real picture. This is not the rendered image. This is the project actually how it looks. It's a health and well-being yoga center. I'm showing you some design principles here. So if you see this project is in a 7.5-acre land, and this falls in the hot and dry climate. So entire year you will find only the pleasingness in the weather, in the I would say rainy season. Rest is a hot weather also for 3-4 months because it is not very comfortable that time. So here I would like to just show you that when we were involved in the designing and other aspect of this particular project, the intention was to make this project more compatible with the local climate and to learn the design aspects from the local architecture. So I'll show you how. So if you see the materiality part here, the idea here was Basically, this was the largest consignment of the quad tiles for those who are of the neighborhood community, first ever in the history for this particular project. Because this means how you increase the local economy, how you can help the local building, local architecture, and supporting your neighborhood community to make your project more inclusive and more, I would say, with the local culture. And this was the few specialties of this particular project where historical prominent architectural types were considered in the designing, like vadas, like your Harappan cities, like your kunds, your ghats, chaityas. So all these inspiration of designs were considered. You can see these are the actual photographs. You can see the vadas are there, and these are the ghats and kunds like Varanasi. And in the center you can see this is the door where you do the meditation and yoga. And also you can see that this naturopathy, these are the vadas, massage rooms, are courtyard houses, yoga, meditation center, chaityas, kund, ghats. They were designed in such a way so that maximum daylight is coming there and there is no air conditioning. So that is also the beauty of this project. Because you have just natural daylight and natural ventilation systems here. And you can see the setting of this cluster with one round circle, and they call this Panch Tattva. Like one cluster is Jal, other is a Prithvi, then they are named like that. Bhumi, and you have Agni. The name of the clusters and cottages are also kept on the same way. And you can see on the right side, there is an inspiration from the local villagers and local communities, how they are sitting in their common angle, and there is a tree, and there is a proper shading on the open surfaces where heat gain is less. You can find the shades, you can chill, you can connect with the people. So all those were the concepts here. And you can see these visuals, and you can see that these shaded areas and natural stone pathways. And the best part is here, more than 80% of the entire that 7-acre land is just kept without concrete. It is just natural pebbles. You can walk barefoot. There is no vehicle. You can use cycle. But this is just very natural space. This is purely designed on the green principles. And this, you can see the roof design, how it was done. When the cluster of 4 blocks are formed and how the clay roofing is done, you can see that. This is all eco-friendly. And these are some, basically to reduce the energy consumption, the design aspects, which basically reduce the heat gain. This is the master plan. Now you see that I have shown you the pictures. This is the at the time of the planning. You can see how the green elements. You can see the entire parallel city in combination with the human habitat. This is the example. This is how it looks now. You can see those chaitanyas and those water bodies and ghats and natural pebbles areas, and the entire. And you will feel that there are a lot of medicinal plants. There are a lot of butterfly gardens. There are a lot of I would say the large trees, like they have grown up very native spaces there. And these are some of the glimpses. You can see the pergolas for the walkways, so that people when they are walking, they have also in a sunny day they can walk comfortably. And you can see the dining area, how the natural shade is there. And the best part here is when I talked about the local material, even the furniture is also made with the salvage. You can see the cupboards. They are also made with the salvage materials. And not only this, the waste management, these are an integral part of this project, making composting, natural composting, all these things are integral part of the entire project operation. And the beautiful part is the embed system. I don't know how many of you know about this. This is the kind of STP which runs without electricity. So this is the natural system, which is basically you take the help of soil. here the rainwater harvesting systems at every step you will see. This was the existing well, which was on the lowest side. In the rainy season, they collect the entire rainwater here, they charge, and they reuse the same water for the supply of that particular project. So it's a purely a net zero project. So what they conserve during rainy season, they preserve that water, they use entire season. So no source of supply, no from municipal government. So these are the some of the systems, water metering, solar hot water, solar system is there, energy data is there. I cannot talk too much on that now. And the metering system, then universal design concepts, because the design is made compatible for the handicapped people also. So if you go there, your room sizes, your furniture, and your handrails, your ramps, everything is an integral part of the design, which are the global principles of green and universal design. And not only this, the inclusiveness and green education is a very integral part of the project.